Brainy Dose presents 12 Signs Someone is Lying to You. Do you feel like someone has been acting a little off lately? Maybe your partner is being secretive, or a close friend isn't being honest with you. While it's nice to believe the best in people, sometimes you've got to watch out for yourself. And fortunately, there are ways to tell if someone is being dishonest with you. Even when a person is lying, more often than not, their body language gives them away. So here are 12 signs someone is lying to you. Number 1. They abruptly change their head position. Pay attention when you ask someone a direct question and their head makes a sudden movement. Whether it's turning their head away from you, looking down, or jerking their head back. Look for a quick movement that contrasts their body language prior to your question. When this happens, the person is likely trying to avoid eye contact, while reacting anxiously to a question they don't have a good answer to. It's a strong sign that they aren't being honest with you. Number 2. Their breathing changes. You know how your breathing changes after physical exercise or when you panic? Well, our bodies have almost the same reaction when lying. It's actually a reflex action. When someone is lying, their heart rate and blood flow change due to hyper-awareness of the circumstance, and this tension causes their breathing to become heavy. This involuntary and otherwise unprovoked change in breathing pattern is a pretty big sign that someone is lying. Number 3. There's a shift in their voice. Everyone has a natural pitch and flow when they converse, and if you know someone long enough, you're accustomed to theirs. So when you notice a person's tone go higher or lower, or change in speed, chances are it's their anxiety talking. When someone lies, they will often either talk too loudly to mask their anxiety, or in some cases, speak more softly, almost as if they are saying something they aren't supposed to be sharing. Number 4. They stay very still. Some people make quick movements to get away or distract from a lie. Others simply freeze up. It's normal to move around a bit in regular conversations, and it helps you come across as relaxed and open. However, a person who is lying isn't likely to be as relaxed. Some theories suggest that lying for some people triggers the primitive neurological fight response, so a rigid stance lacking of movement can essentially indicate that the liar is preparing for a possible confrontation. Number 5. They repeat words or phrases. When a person is telling the truth, they can recall everything without thinking about it. On the other hand, when someone is telling a half-truth or a total lie, they often repeat themselves over and over. Liars tend to do this to convince you and themselves of whatever lies they are telling. They might be trying to validate their story in their minds as they tell it to you. In other circumstances, it's a tactic to help the liar buy time to come up with the next part of their story. Number 6. They give you too much information. If someone gives you too much information when questioned, there's a pretty good chance that they practiced what to say and how to say it. This person may also think that they will be more believable if they give a full story. However, this often just shows that they've anticipated what you will say next. If they seem to know the answers to all your questions, they probably constructed a big lie and are prepared to stick to it. Number 7. They touch or cover their mouth. If the person you're talking to puts their hand over their mouth, it's a good sign that they don't want to answer a direct question or reveal something. They're subconsciously putting a barrier between themselves and you. And it doesn't need to be as obvious as slapping a hand over their mouth. A small gesture is enough to give away a liar. Number 8. They shuffle their feet. While hand gestures can reveal a lot, feet can do the same. For example, shuffling feet can indicate a desire to flee from one's current situation, which relates to the flight response. This is actually one of the best ways to know if someone is lying. So next time you're unsure, just take a quick glance at their feet. Number 9. They use incongruent gestures. The term implies that the actions don't follow the words. Let me explain. Congruent gestures bring a visual element to the concept you're trying to convey, like shaking your head when you say no, or nodding to indicate yes. Incongruent gestures, therefore, are those that don't align with this concept. When someone is lying, their subconscious mind can kick in and reveal the truth through their body language. For example, they say yes while shaking no with their head. Number 10. It may become difficult for them to speak. You know in those crime shows when a suspect is called in for questioning? and it gets tougher and tougher for them to get words out? There's a reason for that. When the body is under stress, salivary flow reduces, which dries out the mucous membranes of the mouth. Perhaps that explains why someone being interrogated usually asks for a glass of water. Number 11. They stare at you without blinking much. Some lie and look away, while others look you dead in the eye. When you're having a conversation with someone, you probably notice that they periodically move their gaze around and even look away. That's normal. A liar, however, is more likely to give you a cold stare in an effort to manipulate or control you. This is likely because they know that liars tend to avoid direct questions by looking around, so they try to make up for it by going too far on the opposite end of that spectrum. Don't fall for it. Number 12. They get defensive and hostile. If a liar feels threatened with your questions, they might get aggressive or defensive and attempt to turn the tables on you. When confronted, they may start using aggressive gestures like pointing. Of course, some people are just overly defensive by nature, yet they're sincere. Acting out in a hostile manner, however, is typical of a liar. Keep in mind that this is not definitive proof that someone is lying. Nevertheless, it is a good place to start if you want to learn to recognize subtle cues and signs. It's also crucial that you understand the person's usual behavior before assuming they're lying, as certain habits, like pointing or oversharing, may be entirely typical of them. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends so we can keep making them. For more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and remember to click on the notification bell. Also, be sure to check out our other videos as well. Thanks for watching.